Hello, hello. Welcome back. If you've been here before, if you haven't, get comfortable, relax, get your computer, turn your volume up, because I'm here to drop all the tea for military spouses of active duty service members. This video is going to be about the top 5 things you need to know for PCSing to Korea. If you haven't been here before, like, subscribe, and follow along, okay? Get comfortable. Catch this tea. All right, so let's just jump right into it. So, you're probably here because you're PCSing to Korea and you're like, what the world is going on? What do I do? How do I find information? You start adding yourself to all these groups and you're like, I need more information. I need direct information. I need information from people that's already in Korea. I need people that are going through the process that have told me their timelines and things like that. Well, your girl is here to help you, okay? I'm here to help you navigate coming over here to South Korea, okay? So, when your spouse originally gets their orders, it says unaccompanied. So don't be alarmed. Don't be like, oh my God, my spouse is going to Korea without me. It says 1 year. I want to go. Da, da, da. Pause, okay? Just pause. Do not go down a rabbit hole of trying to figure out, oh my God, what do I do? The first thing that you want to do is, of course, don't go down that rabbit hole. You want to take time to collect and gain as much information as you can, but also you want to get the ball rolling because the process can be a little lengthy if you let it be. But if you're properly prepared for PCS into Korea, nothing will stand in your way, okay? So the first things first, in order to go to South Korea on an accompanied tour with your family members, you need to start the EFMP process. Now, a lot of people always say, I don't have any health issues, I don't have this, I don't have that. Everybody PCS and overseas has to do this process. You cannot go to South Korea without doing this process. You can go visit, of course. There's no stipulations of coming over here as tourists. They don't care. Come on. Bring your butt on. Come on. But of course, you'll have to leave every 90 days, and that becomes, costly. So, in order to get accompanied with your spouse on those orders that say unaccompanied right now, 1 year, it will change to 2 years once this process starts. So, the first thing you want to do is start EFMP. Now, what you want to do before you actually call in EFMP to make an appointment, you want to make sure you have your current physical for everyone in your household. You want to make sure that on the records, if there's any medication that you don't use, remove them. Remove them, have them taken off, make sure that a doctor documents it, that you don't use it anymore, because sometimes medication can be a holdup. Also, having a physical within the last year also helps you because then you don't have to schedule a physical appointment. So then once you have your documentation, everything up to date with your medical, then you'll want to make an appointment with EFMP to turn in your paperwork. Your spouse would need to start the EFMP process in the system electronically, and then you'll call wherever you are stationed at and make an in-person appointment for yourself and your family members to actually go in and speak to the medical director so that they are able to evaluate your medical packet. And what this says is, hey, I don't have any issues, I don't have anything going on, or hey, I have asthma, I need an asthma pump, or hey, I go to a chiropractor for back issues. Whatever you have going on medically or don't have going on medically, they want to document it to make sure that there is a provider over here in Korea that can take care of you, or that they can refer you out and you can be taken care of. Because the worst thing that the military does not like to waste money. I mean, contrary to popular belief, they do like to waste money, but they do not like to waste money on service members and family members, okay? Because some people get over here and then they have to go back because they have all these medical issues and they can't see a doctor and there's all these things. And it's like, no. We want you to go overseas with your family and we want you to be comfortable. So the only way that we can do that is to properly prepare before you get there. So the EFMP process is the properly prepared portion. So after you get all this documentation and you go talk to the EFMP people, they will put you in the system. The process has not started yet though. This is just the beginning, okay? This is just the beginning. So keep going though. Keep going. So now, once you have started the process, you will be directed to this website. This website allows you to track and follow your packet. It is called efmp.army.mil. If you're in the Air Force or the Navy or the Marines, Of course, the website will look different. We are an Army family, so ours looks like this. It will help you follow along the process. There's assignment trends, so you can see like different trends in denials, and you can see like, okay, maybe I have this issue. Let me go ahead and take a look to see if there's been any recent denials. So you can go ahead and click in here, and you can just maybe say you're an adult and you go to the cardiologist and you're trying to go to Camp Humphreys. So going to Camp Humphreys, there's been 7 assignment denials, right? Because at this time there is no cardiologist here. The most denials was in April of 2023, and it went down. So now I'm pretty sure that now, as you can see, the most denials was 2 in 1 year, and that was 2023. Now it's October 2024. Here is the stat, and it just says there was only 1 denial. So you might be able to come over here if you have cardiologist problems, but you can come in here and you can play around with different things in here. It does allow you to select up to 3 different things. So you can just type in different, hey, educational services. So there was 2 denied. And don't put yourself in a box where you're like, oh my God, my kid has these problems. No, stop. Do not go down that rabbit hole. Every case is different. Every case is not the same. Coming to Korea, literally every single day people are coming in. Every single day people are going out. So the worst thing that you can do is try to compare yourself to another situation, because there is never going to be a case that is the same when it comes to EFMP. You put your packet in, you track your packet on the website provided to you, which is Exceptional Enterprise, Family Program. You track it for you. The process for us took a little long, but not too long, to go ahead and show you guys the start to finish. So we found out my husband was going to Korea in April. He initiated the packet. So here it goes. Member initiated packet. Member initiated he was going to Oconus. Member has submitted package to MPD Family Travel Office for authentication. So mind you, he was doing this fairly quickly, so it all says the same day. So he started it. It took him 7 minutes to submit it. He submitted it, and then this is where they sent it to review. This is when the representative ended up calling me. These times might seem a little off because I'm in Korea now, so these time zones match Korea. It doesn't actually match the time zones that we were in. So as you see, it starts going through the process. Travel office has submitted package to MTF case coordinator. That's who will review your packet with you in person. MTF case coordinator MVS review has started. MTF case coordinator has submitted package to EFMP medical director. So this is on your local base. This MTF case coordinator, they're on your local base. So when you're thinking of, okay, who has my EFMP packet? This MTF case coordinator, they are on your local base. So once they get it, they'll submit it to the medical director. Mind you, I had already had all of our physicals and things like that already squared away. I had everything that I needed so that when I went into the office, I was all good to go. So here, it took roughly 12 days. And that's because I had to get a new paper for my son, and it took me 2 days to get the paper, and it fell on a weekend day. And so being that it fell on a weekend day, they were like, oh, you had to come back. So I will show you. Whoa. The calendar shows, if you look up on the calendar, it was a weekend day. So of course you don't count the weekend. So the EFMP medical director screening has begun. So we went in, they asked us several questions. They asked me questions. They asked each individual one of my kids questions. And then after that, she was like, okay, I don't see any problem with you guys going to Korea. Now this paper will get signed off by me, and I will go ahead and send it to the next location. So since we were in Seattle at the time at JBLM, they sent it to the next location. The next location goes to Hawaii. Then it goes to Korea. So on the 24th, she helped us. We were in the office on the 24th. We did our review. 1 week later, The losing NPD reviewed it. The EFMP medical director determines whether the family is already enrolled. So they were looking in the system to see if anybody in the family needed to be enrolled, and that's just based off of the medical questions, based off of anything that you need or don't need. They check it out. So EFMP director, they don't need to be enrolled. There's no updates needed because we didn't need to do any of that. So now this is where the nitty-gritty starts. Once it leaves the base that you are at and it goes, this is where it starts. All of this here, you would think, oh my God, it's gonna start here because they always tell you like 30 to 45 days. It's accurate. So it started here. Once we seen the medical director and we did that, and she signed off on it on the 30th, right here, the medical director determined that the member is not enrolled or needs an enrollment update. This is where it starts. It does not start when you're doing the EFMP process, getting your screening done, medication and all that stuff. That stuff should be done before you even start this, because it's going to delay you. Because if you go there and they say, oh, you need to update this, they're going to reschedule you because you have to go in front of the director. She has to review the documents with you in person. So all of that needs to be done first. So then this is where it starts. The enrollment package has been created for each family member indicated by the EFMP medical director. Once they have been completed, this travel screening process will continue. So then it continued. In this part right here is where my husband just had to sign off and say, okay, I agree. And then after he did that, it continued. This is the actual 30-day start. So the family member pack has been completed. This travel screening package is ready to continue. The losing MTF coordinator has sent the completed 5888 and the 7246. The losing MPD has sent the completed to the losing base. The losing base has sent it to the travel office. This is where they're starting to cut the orders and stuff, but follow along. The package has been sent to the MTF medical review staff for review. Now this is where it gets to Korea. So the medical review staff is the review staff in Korea. So they're viewing the system. They're checking to make sure, hey, does this person have an IEP? We need to make sure the school system has them. Hey, does this person have any medical conditions? We need to make sure there's available space for them. Hey, which base is this person going to be stationed on? Because we need to make sure that there's enough slots for the family providers. This is what's going on in the background, right? So this is on the 7th. So from the 7th to the 13th, they're reviewing all of the documentation and they're just making sure like, hey, everything is everything, and we are making sure they have everything squared away. Some people are going crazy during this waiting period because it's like, for a whole week it's not doing anything. For a whole week something is happening. People in the background are doing the things that they need to do, and all of the things are being taken care of. You just have to be a little patient. So then here you see that, hey, the medical review staff has sent their staff to the medical reviewer for review, because there's several different teams. So it goes from one section to another section to another section. And so here you see it's a little static again. So once the medical reviewer has sent it to the medical review staff, the medical review staff has received the recommendation, because the review staff will review it and say, hey, there's availability for doctors, there's availability in the schools for IEPs, there's availability for any specialist needs. This is what's happening in the background. So they'll say, hey, they can go this person, this person, this person, this person, however big your family is, they'll start checking it off. And so now you're like, okay, come on, hurry up. So from here to here, the review staff is making their recommendation. So boom, the review staff made their recommendation. This is where they say yay or nay. So then the FMTS medical review staff has sent their package to the gaining FTO to upload the travel memo documents. We've been command sponsored. So right here, from here to here, it did take a little bit of time because they needed to get the memo and they needed to get my husband's unit and everything situated there. So then the gaining FTO has sent travel documentations literally on the 31st. I was checking this every day from the time I woke up to the time I went to sleep. I was checking this every day. When I seen that the losing MPD has been informed, the soldier's recommendation has been sent, the package of losing MTF case has been closed, I seen this and I was like, did they send you orders? And he was like, not yet. I'm like, check again. Call him. And he was like, Sam, just wait a second. I'm like, call them. And he called them and our orders were there. And I was like, see, I told you. So now that it's in the system and the MCF has sent the review, the recommendation, the updated orders, this is where you've been command sponsored. So now you have those orders to actually start the process. This is where you lose a little hair. You lose a little hair, okay? You lose a little hair because, let's be honest, PCSing as a military spouse is really hard. So after you get your orders, the next thing that you do, I recommend the next thing that you do, you need to get them passports, okay? You need to make an appointment to get passports. If you do not have a tourist passport, you need to hurry up and get an appointment to get passports, because that will be your biggest bottleneck yet trying to get over to Korea. If you do not have a passport and you're waiting on government non-fee passports, honey child, get on the computer, make your appointment, because they will not book your flight if you do not have a passport. Every single base has said the same thing. If you do not have a passport for them to book it for, they are not buying you a ticket. That's like saying, I'm going to the grocery store and I get groceries. They are not going to give you groceries if you don't have any money. So therefore, have your stuff in order. Make sure that you book that appointment. You cannot book the appointment before you get the orders, because they're going to say, hey, where's the orders? Can you prove it? So as soon as you get the orders, the first thing that I recommend you do is book yourself an appointment, you and your children, for passports. After you book for passports, start calling household goods, start calling temporary storage, start figuring out if you're going to ship your vehicle, start doing the things, because now the ball is rolling. Once you get those orders, the ball is rolling. And the ball starts rolling, and it starts rolling quick, because most of the time when people get their orders, it's close to the time that they're about to leave. So a lot of people are like, oh my God, I don't have enough time. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Pump your brakes. Share this video with your friends, because this is the process. You start getting the ball rolling after you get the passport appointments, after you've been command sponsored. Then you want to start calling, because what they do is, when you're leaving coming Oconus, you cannot take all of your stuff. They do not allow you to bring 100% of your weight. You are dropped down to 50% of your weight. So no matter what your rank is, you are dropped down to 50%. So some of your things from the US will not come to Korea with you. And that is fine. Just figure out what you love the most and can't live without, and bring it with you. They do allow you to get furniture over here, like rental furniture. They do give you like loaner. They give you a lot of loaner things. So some people choose not to come over here with anything, and they just say, I'm going to put myself in storage. You make that determination, but you need to start making them wheels turn, because you need to schedule household goods, you need to schedule unaccompanied baggage, and you need to schedule storage. There's 3 things that you need to schedule coming overseas, and these 3 things are very important, and you need to figure out what order you would like them to come in, because sometimes it's not one company handling all of these things. If it's one company handling all of these things, then you're good. But if it's 3 companies like us, then they can't be in your home at the same time, and they can't overlap times. So they'll give you a week window and say, hey, this company is scheduled to come this time. So when you're scheduling it, you need to make sure that you're scheduling enough time so that you are there and present to make sure that they are not messing your stuff up, so that they can pack your stuff to send it overseas. Now, the last thing that you need to do for coming overseas is also prepare if you would like to bring a vehicle. A lot of people don't like to bring their vehicle because these Korean drivers is crazy, okay? These Korean drivers is crazy. But we opted to bring our vehicle. We got here, we bought one car so that we can have, a vehicle while our other car was being shipped, but we also shipped a car. Now, the stipulation with shipping your car is, if you're financing your car, you cannot bring your car. There is no company in the US that will allow you to bring your car to another country while you are paying on it. Unless you own your vehicle outright, you will have to figure out what you are going to do with that car while you guys are over here for 2 years. You can give it back, leave it at a family member's house, leave it at a friend's house, put it in storage because the military will pay for storage. But you need to figure that out too, because you need to also schedule that, because when you're scheduling your vehicle, it does take them 2 months to get your car to you. Just like IAB, unaccompanied baggage, it does take a little bit of time for that to get to you as well. That was the fastest shipment. We did get that within 1 month after getting here, so that wasn't crazy because we got here July 27th and we got our unaccompanied baggage August 19th. So that was cool. So it did not take a lot. And they say when you pack the unaccompanied baggage, you want to pack like your blankets, your toiletries, your towels and like personal stuff. If your children are in school, pack school clothes and just stuff that they would rarely need available. And there's certain weights with that, and you can also find that on the 8th Army website. I will go ahead and link that check up here, and I will show you that the 8th Army website so that you can go on there and check just the different weights and stuff like that. But and then your storage, there's no weight requirement. Like if you wanted to put your whole damn house in storage, you could put your whole house in storage, and there's no like, oh, there's too much weight. Like us, we went from owning our home to coming over to Korea, so we put our entire gym, like we had squat rack, benches, a rower, a assault bike, different dumbbells. We had 2 bars. We had a lot of fitness equipment. We had an ab machine, and so all of that went to storage. We was just like, this is some heavy shit. We cannot bring it with us, so we're gonna just put the whole gym in storage. Maybe that will help us. And so it did alleviate a lot of our weight, and a lot of the heavy furniture and stuff that we had. We also left it because we were told that some of the Korean homes are really small. They lied. If you live in a villa, the villas are pretty big. So definitely take that into account when you are coming over here, the stipulations and things like that, far as what you can bring and what you need to do. But first things first, schedule that appointment to get them passports to make sure that you can get that flight booked, because they will not book those flights until you get those passports. I said I would give you 5 important things, but this is also important, okay? So once we arrived in Korea, um, we checked in at Humphreys, and once we checked in at Humphreys, we were like, okay, we stayed at the hotel, and on the first day, of course, if you arrive on a Friday, they allow you to have the weekend, and then they make you check in on Monday. So we checked in on Monday, and we were like, okay, let's get this going. Once you check in on Monday, they give you your pinpoint orders. So although your orders say that you're coming to Korea, baby, you might be going to Suwon, you might be going to Osan, you might be going to Daegu, you might be going somewhere other than Camp Humphreys. Camp Humphreys for the Army is like the main post. So we seen Camp Humphreys, we got on Camp Humphreys. Once we got our pinpoint orders, child, it said Osan. So what happened to us was it said Osan. So Camp Humphreys did not help us in any way. After we got those pinpoint orders and we were starting to try to get the kids registered with school and stuff like that, Camp Humphreys no longer helped us. They were like, you need to do everything on Osan. The only thing that Camp Humphreys actually had to help us with, because my husband's Army, finance. That was the only thing. Everything else had to be done on Osan. So we got here. Monday they told us, hey, you guys are assigned to Osan. We went to Osan, went to the housing department. Housing was like, for your family size, you guys are living off post. I was like, yes. Silently, I was like, yes. Because I really did not want to live on base. I mean, once you come to another country, you really want to soak up the culture. So you really want to make sure that you're embracing it. And in order to embrace it, you can't be living on base. Okay, because all you're going to do is see a lot of Americans around and just going to feel comfortable. You got to get uncomfortable to get comfortable, okay? So we got the little memo to say we're living off base. You have to go to a briefing to explain the policies and procedures of living off base. Now, I will say the rules are very clear cut. If you have children, and they're within a certain age range, they are allowed to share rooms. But if you have children that are not in the same age range, they are not allowed to share rooms. So I have three children, 17, 13, and 4. Since they have a bigger age gap than 3 years, none of them can share a room. And being that my middle child and my youngest child are different sexes, they were never allowed to share rooms. So with that being said, we were supposed to get a 4-bedroom place on base, and they didn't have any available because Osan is a smaller base, so they didn't have any housing available to us, which is fine. We didn't want to live on base anyway. So here's the real tea though, okay? Here is the real tea. The real tea is, once you are able to live on base and you have that memo, you need to find a realtor, right? Everything can be negotiated. Turn the volume up because I said everything can be negotiated. What that means is you have an OHA and you have a utilities allowance when you come over here to Korea. So it's two different things that come monthly. The OHA fluctuates because of the won to USD rate. However, the utilities allowance does not fluctuate, it stays the same. So when you're looking for a place, you need to get a realtor. And what we did, we got one at first. And this person was going way above OHA. And at that time, I did not have a job. I was not employed and I did not have a job. So I was like, we're not going above. We're not about to be in debt, trying to live lavish and all that stuff. No, we don't want to. And these real estate agents out here will tell you like, oh, this is nice, this is what you want, this is exactly what you want, this is the no. Stand firm on not going above OHA, and there's realtors that will go to bat for you and go within your OHA range. The first person that we went with, they were just always going above, and so I was like, let me just find somebody else. So we found a second person. I really liked him, but the locations that he was showing us, it wasn't to my standard. I was like, no, he keeps showing us these places that are like run down, and it looks like, the older homes, the utilities tend to be more because they're older. The older structures tend to take more, utilities, and that's normal. That's even the same in the States. And I was just thinking of budget wise, that wouldn't be a smart decision. The smart decision would be to find something newer because the utilities are newer, and so it doesn't take a lot to be efficient within the utilities range. So although he did find us everything within OHA sizes and all that, rooms, bathrooms, ratio, he did do that. I will not take that away from him. He did do that. He just didn't find anything that I actually liked. Now the last one, he topped the first person. So the first person, although she kept going above our OHA, she did find a gem in this new city called Goduk. And this city is in between Osan and Camp Humphreys. And it's a beautiful city. They are building it up. There's so much stuff here. And I was so happy that she introduced us to the city. So she found us a place. It was way above our OHA. So another realtor that I had contacted, I had told him we were going to go with her. We were about to give her our deposit and everything because we really liked her place, and we were just like, maybe we can just pay over. It wasn't our first choice. We really did not want to, but we were willing to. So boom. So we told her we would see her in the morning. He called us that night and said, hey, I have a place for you. And I was like, no, we're going to go with her. We're going to go with her. He was like, no. He said, I'm going to show you one place. And after I show you this one place, if you do not like it, go with her. We were like, okay, we can do that. You are literally banking on this one place being amazing. And if not, we're going to go with somebody else. We're going to give somebody else our business. He knew what he was doing, okay? He knew what he was doing. Child, we came to this place that I'm in right now. He brought us here, and I instantly walked in. I said, oh, we want this one. And the kicker is, he stayed within our OHA. So We had 3 people, three, looking for places for us, and all of them delivered different locations. Nobody showed us the same location, which is crazy. Nobody showed us the same locations. And a little tidbit to know is most of these locations here, when you're living off base, are individually owned. So it's not like in the States where it's like a property manager and they manage a whole thing unless you live in like one of the high rises. But those tend to be more expensive. The parking team seems to be jammed. The elevator situation, all of that. We don't want to do that. But this villa here is only 4 floors, so you can take the elevator or the stairs, and it's not difficult because it's only 4 floors, and there's lots of parking outside. And I just feel like he did his big one with finding this for us. He knew that he could find us something within OHA. The owners were here when we came to look at it. They were very nice people. He served as the middleman because we don't speak any Korean, and that's fine. But yeah, definitely when you're coming out here and you're trying to get housing off base, everything can be negotiated. Because after we told her that we were going with him, all of a sudden she can go down in price because we asked her several times, like, hey, can you lower the price a little bit? This is out of our range. We really didn't want to go out of our range. She was like, no, I don't think I can. Okay. We're gonna go with somebody else that's gonna stay within our range and provide us what we want, because we weren't out here. When you're looking for housing, they do allow you to stay in lodging until you find housing, as long as you're updating them, letting them know, and showing proof like, hey, I'm working with this realtor and they are helping me look. So it's not like there was pressure on us to move out of lodging, because we had a kitchenette, we had beds and everything. Everybody was comfortable. We had a living room, we had a shower. It was fine. We didn't care. It was just like, we need to find a place. But we had everything we needed inside the lodging, so it wasn't like we were like desperate. And so I think that when the girl was working with us, she thought we were desperate to get a place. And so she thought that we were going to go with her because of the desperate. No. Everything can be negotiated. Literally everything. Downstairs is not paying the same as me. Down even further, they're not paying the same as them. Everywhere around here, nobody's paying the same amount. So everything can be negotiated when you're living off base. Just like when you're looking for a house in the States to actually purchase, shop around. Make sure you have different agents here that's going to serve you your purpose. Do not sign no contract. Do not sign anything. Make sure that the person that you are working with is going to serve you, and make sure that you and your family are comfortable, because you were here for 2 years. And if you're living off base, you need to make sure those accommodations are going to accommodate you and your family. So that's my little tidbit for living off post, okay? Okay. Offered all these tips and tricks and everything that you need to know before moving to Korea. I want y'all to come back and visit me, because I'm going to drop some tips and tricks on getting a job here, because it is very difficult, but it is not attainable, okay? Because your girl is employed here in South Korea, popular to believe, because the SOFA agreement, only 20% of Americans can get jobs because 80% of the jobs need to go to Koreans, okay? But your girl got a job, so I can tell you how to do it. So go ahead, like, subscribe, follow me. Come back and get this tea if you're a military spouse and you want a little tea for all the things military spouses in South Korea.